guys, what's up? Today I'm gonna rank the Breath of Fire series. Only the 5 main titles though, no spin-offs, no games that were never released outside Japan, and I'm just going to pretend Breath of Fire 6 doesn't exist. Alright, let's begin! Number 5. Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter. Also known as Breath of Fire 5, this is the last game in the series that I can actually try considering as a part of it. I've stood in favor of it many times before, always claiming it's not a bad game at all. However, I've also strongly criticized how utterly unbalanced the difficulty is, or how bizarre the overall gameplay concept was. It's just an experiment gone wrong and a game that definitely killed the series for a while. Still turn-based with a party of 3 characters at your command. Still with dragon transformations from Ryu, the protagonist of the game. Alright, it does have some Breath of Fire characteristics, but in reality they're full of annoying conditions. This is the weakest title of the franchise. It just tried to be different and failed miserably in my opinion. But playing it without thinking of Breath of Fire might help improve your experience of it. Just be sure to follow a walkthrough. Number 4. Breath of Fire 2. On to the actual good Breath of Fire games. I left the second one in the 4th place of the list because of 2 reasons. One, it has an extremely slow beginning, and second, at least the SNES version has the highest encounter rate of all. Other than that, it's a true Breath of Fire and a classic turn-based RPG on the system. I recommend playing the Game Boy Advance version as I thought it was rebalanced, at least for a little bit. The story here stands out slightly more than usual, which was a step forward for Capcom into taking the franchise more seriously. Battle system is neat, and it does feel quite interesting for its time. I also enjoy the cast of characters and their unique skills. Breath of Fire 2 was the start of a new brighter future for the series, but in my opinion, it wasn't that great of a game to keep me immersed. Number 3. Breath of Fire. Going back to the very first title in the series, I have to say I ironically liked it way more than the second one. Encounter rate is high too, but it didn't feel as tedious as it was in Breath of Fire 2. I beat the Super Nintendo version a long time ago and I have fond memories of it. It was Capcom's attempt to create a new RPG franchise, but they weren't willing to risk that much, which is why this game nowadays feels kind of outdated and generic. However, if you play it for what it truly is, you'll realize it's actually a pretty solid RPG for its time. The story does flesh out as you progress, but it keeps you interested since the beginning. Gameplay mechanics are standard for an RPG of the early 90s. Its battle system is your average turn-based, but once again, let me stress out the fact that it was among the first of its kind. I recommend the Game Boy Advance version because it does feel rebalanced as well, but I'd say you can't go wrong either with the original. Number 2. Breath of Fire 3. This PS1 giant and revolutionary game made the series truly mark its place in the history of RPGs. Its strong storytelling and character progression made it deeper and more interesting. You follow the life of Ryu, same name every protagonist shares in the series but not being the same character at all. You're there since he's trapped as a baby dragon, from his kid life until his teenhood. Man, what a great adventure, and the music by Yoshino Aoki, one of her early works in the video games, is full of blues and jazz, strangely fantastic. I thought the battle system was truly neat, with honestly pretty unique ideas. It definitely felt like a proper evolution of the one in its predecessors. If only the gameplay could have been more engaging, with less tedium on some missions and less random encounters, this game would have easily topped the list. Number 1. Breath of Fire 4. This is it, the perfect Breath of Fire in my opinion, the one that actually got me into the series, with a great pixel art as good as the others and a mysterious aura around it. I mean, the game just pans the ancient Japanese culture even through its soothing soundtrack. Battle system is an improved version of all the other titles in the series, overflowing with deftness. The variety they added to it, having two parties, one of the front and one of the back, was amazingly executed. I like how for the most part of the game you switch between Ryu and his companions to actually play with the main antagonist. And even though he's overpowered, his missions and battles feel quite engaging. Capcom learned story-driven RPGs were starting to gain more terrain back in the day, so they made the plot in Breath of Fire 4 feel very substantial. I strongly recommend this excellent RPG on the PS1, as it is a must-play, just like Breath of Fire 3, but perhaps slightly better than it. Well guys, that was my ranking of the Breath of Fire series, the 5 true Breath of Fire games, without counting that horrible abomination mobile bullshit that Capcom made and failed miserably. Yeah, let's just keep pretending that game doesn't exist. Hopefully someday we'll get a true Breath of Fire 6, or at least some kind of revival of this excellent series. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!